lawyer, and we are here again this afternoon to break down the law. So today's topic is actually very, very interesting, and our viewers, we came loaded. When I say we came loaded, I mean myself and lawyer Han Okweka. Thank you for joining us in the studio.
Thank you very much, Barrister Darasimi.
And also with me is another legal mind, Oyindamola Agunloye.
Thank you, Barrister Darasimi, for having me.
Yeah, welcome. Thank you very much. I'm very sure our audience will be delighted to have you here. So today we are talking about marriage. So when we say marriage, marriage is actually a legal matter. It is more than the ceremony. It is more than the jollof rice, the party jollof we want to eat, and the cake and the ashwebi. So marriage is a very serious matter because family is like the foundation of every society, and a lot of people don't actually know how much importance the law actually gives to the concept of marriage. So beyond this celebration, beyond the dancing, the cooking, and every other thing, I would like to throw this first question to Barrister Ann Okweka this afternoon. That what is the concept of marriage in law?
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Darasimi.
Yeah.
Consent of marriage in law. For instance, you need to be legally married. We have the customary marriage. We have that's their requirements.
Let us start from here, Barrister Ann Okweka. A lot of people believe that the celebration is the marriage. So what would you have to say?
Actually,
to that?
not the celebration. That's what so many persons do think about, that the wedding celebrations is actually it makes them legally wedded, which is not totally correct, because wedding ceremony and a valid legal marriage are actually not the same thing, because there are requirements for you to be legally married, a valid legal marriage. There are requirements that must be followed before we can see that as you being legally married.
Thank you very much. And now, speaking of requirements for a legal marriage, Barrister Indamola, do you want to shed light on that? So, apart from the ceremony, what are the requirements? What are the elements of a valid marriage?
Okay, thank you very much. The law generally looks at some factors to know, okay, if this marriage is legal. Because before a party or two parties can come together, so okay, they want to get married, there's this age limit. They call it capacity. At least must both be of legal age. That's the 18 years and above. So the parties must be of, if they are below that age, even if they believe they are married, the law does not recognize that marriage as a valid legal marriage. And also, in the instance of getting married, they must both consent to the marriage. Do you understand? It must not be forced. It must be a mutual understanding of, we want to get married to each other, we love each other. It's not just about the love alone. Okay, maybe one person loves one person more than another. No, both parties must agree to consent together to the marriage. So, and also, you cannot get married to someone that is from the same family as you. You cannot say, okay, brother cannot fall in love with the sister. That kind of thing. Even if you end up getting married to each other, the law will not recognize that marriage as a valid marriage. So that's that kind of things the law will look into to say, okay, fine. And there's something we call the place of celebration of marriage too. So for it to be valid, for it to be a statutory marriage, actually, there's a place you have to celebrate the marriage. That's where you come to the registry.
When you say celebration, are you talking about the ashwebi?
No, I'm talking about the ashwebi. I'm talking about where you come to for the celebration, for the joining. Yes, the joining of both parties to happen. It has to be at a court registry, at a registry. They call it registry. It can also be in a church. There are some churches that are recognized under the law, whereby they can issue certificates. Do you understand?
No,
So,
Ms. Ann Okweka, are we saying a church marriage and a court registry marriage are the same thing?
Well, a court marriage, we call it a statutory marriage, where the both couples come to the registry to to join themselves as husband and wife, then that of the church is, well, is not, I wouldn't really say if it's the same thing. It's not really the same, because though for the courts is actually, we know it as a legal marriage, but anything done outside that,
We also have to be very careful, Oyindamola. You will remember that the same certificates given to couples at a court marriage is the same one they
Yes,
issue out in
that's what I was
churches.
trying
Yes.
to mention
So,
earlier.
you know, I see a lot of people get it wrong. They said, me if I marry in a court, me if I a court wedding. So you rush, you go to your church, and then check the certificate that your church is giving to you. It still bears Federal Republic of Nigeria. So
Yes.
at the end of the day, a lot of people getting married in churches today are actually doing court wedding, but they don't even know.
Yes, but it's important to note that it is not all churches that can issue that certificates. Your church has to be recognized. You know, they have to you have to register to be able to issue that certificate to your church members. That
Thank you
gets
very
married.
much. So for our listeners that may be considering, oh, I don't want to do court wedding, I'm going to my church. At the end of the day, you should be very careful, because what you're actually dodging is what you are still putting your hands in. So that's a very interesting one. Barrister Han, you made mention of statutory and customary marriage. So
Yes.
would you like to shed light on the difference between these two types of marriage?
All right, thank you very much, Barrister Derasimi. Okay, for the customary marriage, it has to do with that's following the requirements of the custom in that particular relevant community, and for that of statutory, it has to do with the courts. Yeah, getting married in the courts, and the both are valid.
Both marriages are
Yes,
valid.
they are valid.
So why then is there a dichotomy, kind of difference between the two? Oyindamola.
Okay, I think the difference between the two is the fact that a statutory marriage is under the law, like the law that governs Federal Republic of Nigeria. Do you understand? But when it comes to your customary marriage, it is in guidance with the customs of the society, and there are some things you can do under a customary marriage that it is not applicable under a statutory marriage. Do you understand? So there's the two marriages are valid. If you are saying, okay, I want to just get married under a customary law, does not mean that your marriage is not valid. That someone that got married under a statutory marriage is their marriage is more valid. No, it is still this. You both are married, but it's just under different laws. And there are some laws. Okay, now let's say someone that got married under a customary law marriage, you cannot say you want to divorce. You cannot say you want to come to the court, say you want to, maybe at the end of the day you want to separate. You cannot come to the court of law.
I think a very important point again is people who might be interested in polygamy. That's if you want to
Yes.
marry more than one wife.
Yes.
Then you
But-
dare not go for a court or a church wedding.
Yeah.
You go for a customary marriage.
Yeah.
Because under the customary marriage, I believe a man can marry as much wife as he can take care. While under the church, court, or what we call statutory marriage in law, a man and the wife can only get married to each other. So there's no permission for a third party. And interestingly enough, I think adultery is not even a crime under this statutory marriage.
Adultery is not a crime. It is not. It is not a crime actually, but in a situation whereby.
No, before we address that, Mizan, what do you think? Because adultery is not a crime in Nigeria.
Well, adultery is not a crime, but this is it in a court marriage. After, when you get married to maybe your wife or your husband, and you want to get married, you are having an affair with another person, and you need to actually divorce that particular person you are with before you can think of maybe getting married
why should you
to that
divorce?
person.
Since the law says
No, because
the law says adultery is not a crime. So why should I not do it?
because what the law says is what the law says. I can't wake up one morning and change it.
So as a law-abiding citizen now, since the law says adultery is not a crime, are we now free to?
You are not free as far as you've gotten married legally. You are actually not free to have an affair, or maybe think of getting married without maybe divorcing the other person.
Yeah, in this celebrated case of Awoko versus Fagbemi, the court clearly stated,
Yeah.
and I quote, that adultery is not a crime because a crime must be written, punishment must be divine. So, Lawyer Indamla, you're about to say something about that, about adultery not being a crime.
Yes, I wanted to add that it is not a crime, but then it's important to know that as a couple, there has to be respect in your marriage. The fact that you are married under the statutory law, because in a situation whereby the other party decides, okay, I'm tired of this marriage and all that, they can come under adultery to say, okay, as a condition for this, why they want to leave the marriage. So even if it is not a crime under the law for marriage, I believe it is what's it called? It's a condition that can be used against, a factor that can warrant, okay, separation of marriage. So if something can warrant someone you love leaving you, then I believe you should see it as a crime and not do it. Do you understand?
Yeah, thank you very much. That's actually very interesting. And I find it actually very funny that the law says adultery is not a crime, and this same law also says you need to be faithful to your partner. And to our listeners at home, I don't know if you find this very interesting or you have an addition, subtraction, or whatever you might want to tell us, you can reach us on 070-4700-3969. So once again, if you want to join the discussion, you are free to call us on 070-4700-3969. So because of our people who only understand Yoruba language, we need to go bilingual. So ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ látàrọ̀ náà ni wípé ìgbéyàwó lábẹ́ òfin. A sọ pé ìgbéyàwó kọjá ìnáwó, a fẹ́ jẹ jollof rice, a fẹ́ wọ aṣọ ẹbí. Ìgbéyàwó ó ní àwọn ètò tófin àti ìlànà tí òfin ilẹ̀ wa tó ti là kalẹ̀. So ẹnìkejì mi sọ pé ìgbéyàwó póríṣi méjì, ìgbéyàwó lábẹ́ àṣà wa ó là ń pè ní customary marriage or native marriage, àti ìgbéyàwó lábẹ́ òfin. So ó ṣe pàtàkì ká mọ̀, àwọn kan wọ́n sọ pé mi ò fẹ́ ṣe court marriage, wọn ò fẹ́ gbéyàwó ní court torí pé mi mọ̀ bóyá wọ́n ní tíyàwó bá fẹ́ fi ẹlẹ́ lọ́jọ́ iwájú, ẹ máa pín ẹrù yín sí méjì àbẹ́ máa pín sí mẹ́ta. Wọ́n á wá gba church lọ. So àwa fi yé wa pé àtẹni tó ṣe court wedding àtẹni tó lọ ṣe wedding ní church, the same thing, kankan náà lẹ ṣe. So àwọn tí kò bá yé kàn jẹ́ kó yé wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn, nǹkan kan náà ló ṣiṣẹ́, bóyá o lọ court o, bóyá o lọ church o, the same type of wedding òun ló ṣe. Àwa sọ pé àwọn tán bá lọ church tàbí tí wọ́n ṣe court wedding bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn náà, o ò lè fẹ́ ìyàwó kejì, ìyàwó ẹyọ kan ló lè fẹ́. Ìwọ tó bá mọ̀ pé o fẹ́ fẹ́ ìyàwó méjì, mẹ́ta, mẹ́rin, iye tágbára ẹ bá ti ká, wàá ṣe nǹkan tá à ń pè ní customary marriage. Tó bá ṣe customary marriage yìí, òun làwọn èèyàn ń pè, I think Oyindamola, customary marriage làwọn èèyàn máa ń pè ní engagement.
Yes, the engagement. And they call it introduction to whereby, yes, those ones.
So tó bá ti mọ̀ pé o fẹ́ fẹ́ ìyàwó méjì, rọra ṣe introduction tàbí engagement, kò dá dúró ń bẹ̀, ó ti dá. Àwa tún wá sọ pé nǹkan kan tó ń jọyàn lójú lábẹ́ òfin wa ni wípé àgbèrè kò kí ń ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lójú òfin. So o lè lọ sí ilé ẹjọ́ báyìí kó sọ pé ìyàwó mi ó ń àlè tàbí ọkọ mi ṣe kinní kan. Àgbèrè ò kí ń ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀. So mo wá bi àwọn ẹnìkejì mi pé ìgbà tágbèrè tí kò ń ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yìí pé kí làwọn náà rí, kí ni wọ́n rí sọ sí. So ẹnìkejì mi ní lóòótọ́ àgbèrè ò kí ń ṣe ẹ̀ṣẹ̀, bọ̀ kò pọ́n ọkùnrin lé, nítorí family, kí ẹbí lè wà nínú ìfẹ́, nínú àlàáfíà àti ìdàgbàsókè. Kò yẹ kí àtọkùnrin o àtobìnrin o, kò yẹ kẹ́ni kankan kó fọwọ́ kan àgbèrè. A sọ pé fún àǹfààní àwọn tí wọ́n wà nílé tí wọ́n ń gbọ́ wa, ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá fẹ́ dá sí ètò ẹ lè pè wá sí 070-4700-3969. While waiting for our callers, let us take a break. We'll be back shortly. Thank you very much. So this one goes to Lawyer Han. So can someone who is married actually under the customary law, can they, is it considered valid even without going to a registry, marriage registry?
Yes, absolutely correct. Is actually valid even when you don't go to a marriage registry, in the sense that as far as compliance is being followed, that's the requirements of customary law is being followed in the relevant community, then it's actually valid.
So talking about requirements for a valid customary marriage, I think we'll be talking about this paying the bride price.
Yes, paying your bride price, family consent, and all that.
Oh, family consent is
yes,
actually
the family
important.
must give consent, because if the family doesn't give
But
consent,
what about situations where a couple has agreed to marry, but the family are not what's it called, in alliance with it? So what happens? Is it not the consent of the couples that is important?
well, to me, the family should come together and give consent, because if the family doesn't give consent to such marriage, that's when you see some couples, they tend to do their own, and you see they tend to run away when the family has not even given consent.
Or is the
And
marriage
it
valid?
causes issues
Is the
later
marriage
on.
valid?
To me, it's not.
Oyindamola.
I think if we bring it under customary and statutory marriage, because for customary it might not be valid if you don't get the consent of the family, because at the end of the day, when you come for the traditional rights or the reason, you are coming before the family. A family that does not accept you, you cannot come before them for acceptance of marriage. So but under statutory marriage, I believe the consent of the parties that get married is more important than the consent, because the moment you come before the law and you have the required witnesses that are supposed to be there, they sign the books and not, then yes, you have a valid marriage. Do you understand?
Okay. There's another important angle of that. Let's look at in a situation where people are pressured into marriage. Like I heard a story a few weeks ago where a father donated his daughter to a friend to marry. So in a pressured situation like that, what is the position of the law?
Yeah. Okay. Actually, a person, before a party can get married, the particular person must give a consent, because it's the person that is going to stay in the marriage and not the family. So there must be a consent that, okay, I actually want to get married to this particular person. I've agreed to marry this particular person, and it's okay to go ahead. But if a person does not give a consent, then in that scenario, most times it can actually resolve to maybe legal issue. The person trying to sue maybe the parents or something, like, I didn't give a consent to this marriage. I was being sold out just for the father to get one or two to his pockets.
Oyindamola, do you want to add to that?
Yes, I will add to that. I think if we go to the northern parts of the country, these situations happen very well.
Have you been there?
Yes, I schooled in the north.
Okay.
My law school was in the north, Jola. You see, when I schooled in the north, I had friends. Most of my colleagues, you see, a lot of young girls, they're already married. Some of them even have kids already because they got married really early. I'm not saying they didn't give consent when they got married, but if you look deep down into the northern part of the country, we see situations whereby young kids are being given out into marriage even when they don't even want to. So this kind of things, you cannot say it might be valid under their customary law, but when it comes to statutory marriage that we're talking about, under the law, it is not valid. At the end of the day, most of them might end up getting married, and maybe you find them happy in the marriage, and they will not maybe say, okay, later they want to separate from the person they got married to. But it still stands that the marriage is not valid under the law. So for when it comes to consent, we have to look into whether it is a voluntary consent or it was made involuntarily.
It was okay.
Yes, because in a situation whereby, okay, maybe when your parents told you to go and get married to someone, it's okay, I'm not interested in getting married to the person. Maybe along the line, you changed your mind. It was maybe voluntarily you changed your mind because you ended up falling in love with the person.
We do have a caller. Let us take the call. We'll come back to that. Hello, good afternoon, caller. Good afternoon, sir. You are on Legal Hour at Oxygen 96.9 FM. Please, can you move away from your radio?
Yeah.
Kindly move away from your radio, please.
What else now?
Yes, very clear. Thank you very much. What is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Mr. Ali. Calling from
Tijani.
Molete.
Oh, Mr. Tijani from Malete.
It's not Tijani, Ali.
Okay, Mr. Ali from Malete.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Ali, do you have a question for us?
Yes, I have a question.
Okay.
One of your colleagues says that people from North, they usually get married at the early age.
Yes, sir.
I can say yes and I can say no.
Okay,
and I have
sir.
reason for saying that.
Okay, Mr.
I'm from
Ali.
North too,
Okay.
but I'm
Okay,
based
sir.
in Ibadan.
Okay, sir.
I want to give example concerning one of my sister when he get married to my friend.
Okay.
My sister is 25 years old, and my friend is 30 years old. So when they are getting married, they conclude everything between the girl and my sister and my friend that get married to my sister. They went to my father and my mother. They come to conclusion. They like each other, they love each other. But the age is not mean anything. According to the northern side of the country,
Yes, sir.
we usually marry our sister at the early age. Early age, what I'm saying, is not 18, it's not 15 or 16. Starting from 20, 21, 25, up
Okay.
to
Okay.
30. We don't marry them at the tender age like 15, 18, 19.
All
That
right.
is not correct.
Thank you
That's
very
why I
much.
want to ask
Thank you very much, Mr.
Mr. Ali,
Ali.
thank you for the observation. My colleague has taken note. We are very
All right,
grateful.
thank
Thank
you.
you
Thank
for
you
I want to
very
hear
much,
from you.
Mr.
I'm
Thank you so
listening
much,
right
Mr.
now.
Ali.
Oxygen FM. I will
Yes,
you
yes.
people. I will follow you people. I want
Thank
to
you.
hear
Thank
the
you.
Thank
feedback.
you so much.
Every
Mr.
Wednesday
Ali.
by 2 p.m. you can enjoy a legal program like this, eh?
Okay, sir.
Thank you
sir.
very much,
All right.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Indamola, it seems maybe your time in the north, you did not.
No, I think experience varies. Do you understand?
Okay.
So I'm talking about my experience. So, but
Alright.
since he has called my attention to it now, yes. So I've learned something new today.
Okay, that's very good. I think we do have another caller. Let's quickly take the call. Hello, caller. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon. Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello, the network. I don't know. Sorry.
Hello.
Hello, I'm with you. Good afternoon. I think the network
Lost
is
him.
terrible. Yeah. So let's continue. At the beginning of the whole discussion, we said marriage is a legal matter. I remember that, Mizan.
Yes, sir.
You were the one that said that. So when we say marriage is a legal matter, that means there are legal implications to marriage.
Yeah.
There are rights and responsibilities in the marriage. We do have another call. We come back to the conduct. Hello, good afternoon, sir. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
We can hear you, sir. Okay. You
I
lost
think
him.
I don't know what's wrong. So you said marriage is a legal affair, so it creates some rights. So what are the rights that parties have, like the husband and the wife under the marriage?
All right. Thank you very much, Barrister Darasimi. Okay. The rights the parties have right to support. The both couples are meant to support each other. For instance, husband and wife. For the husband is actually lacking, then the wife can also support the husband coming together. Then property
We
rights.
do have
okay.
another call. Let's take this. This will be probably our last call.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Hello. I can hear you.
This, oh,
Can you hear me?
I don't know. Well, I can hear you very well. Very well. Good afternoon, sir. I don't
We
know
can
what's
hear
wrong.
you, sir.
I don't know what's wrong with the call. So, Mizan, you can continue.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, we have a right to companionship. We also have property rights. The both couples can come together to acquire properties. Right to support each other. Right to mutual respect and dignity.
All right. Oyindamola, you might want to add one or two to that.
Okay, I'll just try to add that in a marriage, it's important to know that when you're coming together, you are getting married to your companion, because when you meet someone, because you always see each other every day, you get to talk to each other. So these are rights that come with getting married to someone, and then the rights to consummate marriage too. A lot of people decide when they get married, they believe, oh, you're already my husband, or communicating shape gbogbo and mama need time láti máa ṣeré lórí bed. Do you understand? So it is important to know that the right to consummate a marriage is is very important. Even the law frowns at not consuming marriage.
That's
Because,
when
yes.
either of the partner said, I don't want to
yeah,
play.
There's no consummation. It is not a bad thing. The person is within their right, say they are no longer interested because of the
So
consummation.
for
of
married
marriage.
couples that are listening to us now, as my partner just said, you have no right to tell your husband or your wife that you are not in the mood. So you better get yourself in the mood.
And you can also add a right to legal remedies, just in case the person wants to get separated.
Okay.
As well.
Barrister Ann said, in case your husband is tired, he's telling you he's tired, he's not doing, that you can come to her so that she will work on your divorce. Okay. So thank you very much. I think Ms. Ann also mentioned right to maintenance. When you say right to maintenance, what does it really mean?
Okay, I think if you say rights maintenance, you are both coming together to, take care of each other. Do you understand? If your spouse needs something, maybe something that they do to like take care of themselves, and you feel okay, fine, you are the one that can
Basic
help them.
amenities.
Yes, provision of food, housing, all those kind of things. You come together to provide it for each other. Do you understand? That's why guys are coming. Guys are companions. Guys are
There's a very interesting argument here before me, Ms. Ann. Some people believe that one party is bigger than the other in a marriage. So under the law, who is the strongest party in a marriage?
Well, to me, I don't feel there's anybody that is bigger than each other. Everybody comes together as
Yes.
one.
Do you mean husband and wife are equal?
Husband, yeah, one.
Are
In
they-
law, we see them as one.
Okay.
Yes,
Because
they're
you
coming
cannot
together.
come if you are filing a matter, you cannot remove one person and say you are filing for this. No, you are putting one person. They are one.
Because they are coming together to support each other. So if one party believes that, oh, I'm more superior, then issues will start arising. So if you see marriage as a way of supporting each other, then you will not have any problem. That's why you see a lot of people saying you get married within few months and say they're already tired, because people don't really understand the basic foundation of what a marriage is. We are meant to support and tolerate each
So
other.
when
And take care
I
of
was
each
I
other.
was in call last week and I saw a very long list of people coming for divorce, and it is very, very concerning because most of them even get married within 2-3 years. They're already desperate.
Even less than a year.
Less than a
Less
year.
than a year,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
But just okay, maybe later we'll go into
It seems
that.
when I want to
Yes.
marry now, I will sign a contract with my wife that maybe at least you must be in this marriage for 35 years.
Why are you even thinking of divorce when you're never married yet?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I like thinking ahead. So, Ms. Ann, what would you say is the leading cause of marital crisis and divorce and all this?
All right. For instance, I think let me use this new scenario to explain. This actress, I think, is it there's this trending scenario happening between Frederick. I think, is it Frederick?
Frederick Leonard.
Yeah, Frederick Leonard and
Peggy.
and Peggy Ovire. Thank you. So Peggy was saying something about the husband cheating on her rather, infidelity. All those things can cause it as well when the husband and wife are not faithful to themselves. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Barrister Han. Before we continue, let us take a very short break and we come back renewed and loaded for our people. Thank you, listeners. We'll be back soon. So we are back now, and it's an interesting one we're about to discuss now. Oyindamola, can you kindly take our listeners through the grounds for seeking divorce in Nigeria, if in case we have people who are tired or weary of their marriage?
So sorry, before I start, I would like to state that the law does not even want divorce. The law does not.
But
does
the
not.
law
does
makes,
not.
I will seek an exception to that claim. The law makes provision for, in the Matrimonial Act, there's a whole section that is dedicated to
Yes,
divorce, and you say the law
but
does not
I'm
want
not.
it.
I'm not saying the law does not make provisions for it. I'm saying even when you come to court and say, okay, you want to divorce your spouse, the law will not even advise divorce. I think you advise a separation. You guys can maybe get separated for like 3 months first. Do you understand? And in process of separation, I think the couples can still even stay together, stay in the same house.
Thank you for that. I would
At that
still,
point
I would
in
still like to
time.
point out to our listeners also that I'm always in for divorce. It is better than marrying a partner that will kill you, beat you to death, or poison you. You get what I'm saying? We've seen. Remember this gospel artist Osinachi, that woman in
Yes,
Abuja. She
exactly.
was beaten to death because of all this gospel of don't divorce your partner. I've seen situation where a wife poisoned her husband because she wanted to get married to another man. So why not just go your separate way? Must you die?
Yes, that's why the law makes provisions for for grounds. But I think the most important ground, the one ground loss, is when the marriage has broken down irretrievably. Like kò sí kọ́ta lè ṣe mọ́ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ resolve ẹ̀.
So how do you
Ẹ wá
know?
máa lọ. So now in that situation, maybe the situation whereby àwọn ìwà kún àtúnṣe kó ti this kind of this beats now, this assaults. Do you understand? Because the law will not say that someone that is assaulting you, that is beating you every day, and don't know every day dandan ni kó máa bá kó ṣe àwọ̀ fún àbí pé so the law can still think about that kind of situation and say let's get these people separated. Adultery, so I said it earlier, adultery is another condition where the law, you can come under the law to say you want to divorce your spouse. Or let's say, okay, both couples have not been staying together, they have not been living in the same house for, let's say, for like 2 years. You people are not consummating the marriage, you are not seeing each other, there's no care for each other. So yes, the law can still come, you can still come under that condition to say, okay, you want to leave leave this marriage.
Okay, sorry. Let me add one or two and use this as a platform to let some married couples who are having issues in their marriage. If you're having issues in your marriage, your husband is beating you, or even the wife is also beating the husband, because we have scenarios where that's the truth. It's just that men don't speak out because they feel ashamed. That's
God,
the truth.
God, I beg.
We have scenarios where women beat their husband. That's the truth. You see, they don't want to speak out. If you have this kind of scenario, please learn to speak out. Approach a lawyer, then seek for a divorce. That's for your mental health. If not for anything, but for your mental health, at least seek for divorce.
All right. That's thank you very much, Mizan. Mizan,
Thank you very
the
much.
problem, I told you I'm a divorced person. I prefer divorce than hearing that a man beat his wife to death or a woman poisoned her husband and all this rubbish. But again, I think one of the reasons why the law is usually very, very reluctant. Tẹ́ bá lọ sí court lẹ́yìn báyìí pé fẹ́ divorce, first thing tí adájọ́ máa sọ ni pé ẹ lọ rò ó dáadáa o.
Yes.
Because don't let us forget that marriage is like the basic unit of every society. All of us came from a home. And when these homes are disintegrating or is breaking apart, I think the society at large also will suffer for it.
Yes.
So that's why the law is very, very, very reluctant. Very reluctant. But however, I go with Mizan.
And so that's why we even
Thank
see
you very
that
much.
when the law even accepts, when they give divorce, accept the divorce and all that, when it comes to custody of children, because of this whole family, they will prefer to give the child to the spouse that can take care of, can look after the children, whether it's just one child or whether let's say it's 2 children. So they will prefer to give that particular child or the children to the spouse that they know will be capable of taking care of that child. Because at the end of the day, if a child is from a separated home, it's like it affects them. We might not know, but it really affects them because the way they relate in the society, the way they see things, the way they view people, their relationship with their friends, that kind of things reflect in the way they act. So it's very important. The law is very, very careful when it comes to divorce. Do you understand? So
yes. I quickly want to add something before I also forget. Some people might be thinking, okay, what are the conditions that must be met before the court is going to grant divorce? You got what I'm saying? I think lawyer Indamla was already speaking on it, but she skipped some very, very cogent points. One of the like she said the only condition that the court wants to see is that your marriage has broken down irretrievably. That means there's nothing they can do to save that marriage. So, but how do we know that a marriage has broken down irretrievably? So there are like 5 or 6 pointers to show that your marriage is gone and there's nothing anybody can do to rescue it. One of it is prior to your marriage, when either party has a disease like HIV/AIDS, an incurable disease. God forbid, but imagine you get married to someone who is HIV positive and they knew about their condition. Then you went ahead with the wedding. Thereafter, after the wedding, you are now getting to know that your partner is actually HIV positive or has cancer, all these big disease. It's actually a grant for you to show the court that no, this marriage, there's nothing we can do about it. It is gone. Otilo. And another condition also, another point that you can use to prove to the court that your marriage has broken down and there's nothing anybody can do about it is persistent refusal to consummate. That means every time you call on your partner, let's go to the bedroom and play. They say, oh, I'm tired, I'm sick, I'm having a headache. Oh, you say you don't know more than that. You know all these complaints. When it don't forget, mark the use of word. We said persistent. Otindi gbogbo ìgbà.
Lemọ́.
Mo pe ìyàwó mi lénìí jẹ́ ká wọlé ká ṣeré ó sọ pé ó rẹ̀hùn mo pè lọ́la orí ń fọ́ ọ̀túnla ó sọ pé àtàárọ̀ tó ń ti lọ bí iṣẹ́ tó bá ti ń di lemọ́lemọ́. You can go to court and the court will be very, very open to probably grant your divorce. And there's another thing we call presumption of death, reputable presumption of death under the Evidence Act. Don't forget that when you don't see someone for 7 years, ẹni tí ọkọ tàbí ìyàwó ẹ̀ tó bá kúrò nílé fún 7 years and gbọ́ nǹkan kan látọ̀dọ̀ ẹni yẹn, the law presumes that that person is dead. You can treat that person as a dead person. So if you've not seen your partner for 7 years, in the eye of the law, that your partner is dead. So you can come for divorce so that you can remarry. I think those are the cogent, very cogent points there. And Ms. Ann, do you want to add something here?
Not at all.
Okay. Thank you very much. Oyindamila, okay.
Okay, so sorry. I would like to add that marriage comes with responsibilities. If we accept these responsibilities, know these responsibilities, I think at least at a point, so maybe to an extent, divorce may reduce. Because if we are not seeing in a situation whereby you're not seeing your partner as your competitor, like a competition, if there's no competition in the marriage, if you're able to like tolerate each other, able to understand each other, support each other, you don't come into marriage with the mindset of the fact that you are above someone.
Are you married? How do you know this?
Because I read a lot and I try to hear people's experiences.
And you watch Nollywood.
Do you understand? It's not just about watching Nollywood. I try to hear people's experience and I understand that okay, if people come into my mindset of the fact that I want to support this person.
Partners
we
in
are
progress.
partners. Do you understand? If something is wrong with me, it's also applicable to your partner. That
from that.
And also, when there is no child in the marriage.
No, I don't think people. If people see children, I'll say this. If people see children as the basis of the fact that peace in your marriage, I don't see, because you see couples. Maybe it's just in a part of the country, part of the world. Go outside, go to other countries or continents. I don't think they see children as a big deal.
We live.
Do you understand?
We live.
It's very important. Children, I don't know how to say, but yes, children do a lot in a marriage. Right. But then I don't think we should see it as maybe another reason why. Another reason why people want to divorce or separate.
All right. Well, and that's a very good one. I believe that if I don't want a child, I could stay single, right?
Yeah.
So I did not marry my wife so that she can just be a sex toy or sex machine.
Yes.
So if there's no children in the marriage,
because even when there is no children in the marriage, you see some persons coming to court for divorce, for them to separate. and go
I
their
will not
separate
advise
ways.
couples.
Because
Couples,
I cannot be inside a marriage, then I'll just be there for years. There is no child.
Okay,
so what am I doing there?
Barrister Han, as a
before
woman,
before this becomes a
As a-
debate, we need to close. We need to close. Thank you very much. I think a lot of people are enjoying this, and so also are my guests, my two guests here.
yes.
So thank you for listening to us. We are very grateful, and I think the most important point from this discussion today, the take-home point, is that marriage is not just a social affair. Marriage is not just because of the jollof rice, because of the ashwebi, and because of the celebration and TikTok post. Marriage is actually deeper than that. The legal implication of marriage is very deep, and it is also very important for you to have your lawyer that can always advise you on the legal aspect of marriage. And don't forget, I'm very, 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 very certain on this. For those who want to marry multiple wives, go for customary marriage. Thank you. Once again, my name is Darasimi Opefetimi, and with me in the studio today is Barrister Anne Okweka and Barrister Oyindamola Agunloye. Thank you for staying with us till next week.
Thank you very much. To our listeners, please don't forget, when you are being assaulted, you have issues with your marriage, please try to seek for your lawyer's assistance and seek for divorce. Thank you.
Oxygen FM, every brain.